Hello, my beautiful Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. I'm Helen, and this time we are going to be looking at your grounded energies. And what I mean by that is that we're going to look at what kind of burden you are in the process of releasing and what is going to be materializing next for you. And then we're going to get into the tarot and see why you had to go through that burden in the first place. What was the purpose of it, or what did it teach you? And why is this new thing materializing? How is it going to benefit or help you? What is it going to bring? So yeah, that's the reading today. We're going to start off with the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and we're going to use the Druidcraft Tarot. Now, the decks will be listed in the description box if you are interested in them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And just a quick note, please remember that this is a general reading, so only take what is for you, use your discernment, and take the messages that you resonate with, and everything else you can just cast aside. But let's see, what is the burden that you are in the process of releasing? Oh, there we go. We have the Rainmaker. And the Vision Quest. Interesting. We haven't had either of those come out for this week's readings, at least. So that's pretty cool. Something else. And I also just want to note that it's interesting that you're getting 2 sixes straight off the bat. We have 42, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 60 reduces down to 6 as well. So interesting. But I also want to see, let's see what is materializing next for you. Oh, wow. Okay, we have the Upper World and the Gatherer. So these two wanted to come out together. Oh my goodness, and the Lower World? What is this? You have the Upper World and the Lower World. I don't think I've ever had any reading where, because there are 3 cards, the Upper World, the Middle World, and the Lower World, and I don't think I've ever had those, like several of those come out together in a single reading. So that is fairly significant. But I am going to, as you know, I am going to kind of tap into these cards a bit, feel my way through them, see what I'm sensing and feeling, and then we'll get through them. We'll talk about them. Okay, so actually, your reading feels somewhat more. It doesn't feel very grounded, if I'm completely honest. It doesn't feel very grounded. I feel a lot of like sadness with these two actually coming out, where either you are like doing some sort of shadow work, or you're in the process of like grieving or working through some kind of loss. But I feel like there's a very, very sad energy with the Rainmaker here. Yeah, I don't know why, but I get a sense that you've lost something. That and it's a recent thing. I feel like you've recently lost something. And I get that this sadness seems to be tied to this underlying energy of the Lower World. It seems to be tied to that. I feel like you are going through this process of like trying to work through your emotions and trying to make sense of them, and trying to kind of find balance again, and trying to get a more grounded way of being. But I do feel a very strong overflow of emotion with this Rainmaker. And again, this is something that you are struggling with, right? This is the burden that you are in the process of releasing. So I do feel that it's something, again, it feels like it's recent, but you are in the process of working through it, if that's any consolation at all. But then we have the Upper World with the Gatherer, and I very much like this energy because this is what is materializing next for you. And I get a very strong support element from these two cards coming out together. I do get this sense that that you are going to be blessed by angels, by spirit, by your spirit guides, by your higher self, whoever you resonate with. But I do get a very strong sense of like support coming in, where you might like actually get some kind of peace and peace of mind specifically or you might get a peace of mind. Or you might get some like really profound messages or very profound downloads from spirit or from the universe. I don't know. This feels very almost like incomprehensible and like larger than life. So I'm not exactly like sure what this is, but hopefully we'll get something else out and something more out with the tarot. But it just feels like there's a lot of like this angelic or higher level support coming your way. A lot of higher level support. But we're going to read from the guidebook, and I do want to warn you that the guidebook may like give completely different like messages about these cards, especially when I'm getting very specific scenarios. Then it could be that my interpretation of the cards and what I'm feeling at this precise moment is not what the authors of the cards actually intended them to be. But I mean, that's okay. That's what like oracle cards and tarot readings are for, right? You're meant to use your intuition first and foremost. But it's sometimes very interesting because they do add some really cool points, or these kind of shine through at times that kind of tie in these very bizarre ways with what I was sensing and intuiting anyway. So it's just interesting to see if there are any similarities. But we have the Rainmaker, so let's start with that. The Rainmaker is the master of manifestation who can call on the elements of nature to serve the greater good. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When this power is used for personal gain only, everyone suffers. When the earth is parched, the Rainmaker calls the waters from the heavens, and all that is dormant in the fields and in people's hearts springs to life again. So yeah, do you see? This card is like very positive in nature. Whilst I don't feel that for you guys at all. At least in this instance, I don't feel it at all. The Rainmaker is calling you to create something new from the elements that are already in your life. Be sure you work with what is and not with what might be or could have been. The seeds that have been silently germinating in your heart will burst forth, ready for the sunlight. Do not hold back. Put all your chips on the next roll of the divine dice. So I do like that. It's actually kind of funny that they're saying the divine dice, because as I said, it feels very much like the divine is coming in for you next. But this does feel like some kind of grief, some kind of emotional heaviness at the very least. But then we have upper world. Angels, divine helpers, the ancient ones, and all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. Oh my God. Okay, wow. I didn't even put that aspect together, but of course. Okay, wow. Yeah, I'm so glad that I read from the guidebook, because it's exactly for these moments that I do read the guidebook. So yeah, it's crazy, and it's kind of confirming for me the fact that they are talking about the dead arriving at the upper world. The fact that they are talking about it is confirming for me that this is some kind of grief and some kind of, yeah, it's a very strong sense that I'm getting with loss or grief or mourning, that kind of thing. And if that is you, then really I'm so sorry. My heart really goes out to you. Let's see what else we can get. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small jumps. So yeah, this is kind of like a call to action and about the finding your destiny part. But again, for me, the part about the spirits and all of that really clicked. And then we have the Gatherer. Before we cultivated grains, we collected the wild bounty of nature. The gatherer finds abundant seeds, nuts, berries, and wild greens where the ordinary person sees only barren soil. The gatherer is the provider, the forager, and the gardener who collects roots and vegetables for the long winter when game is scarce. She does not hoard, trusting the bounty around her. Look at the resources you already have close at hand. This is a time of abundance. Everything around you is ripe and ready for harvest. Banish the notions of scarcity that have limited your choices and colored your destiny. Pack your food for the winter and start with the low-hanging fruit that is all around you. So it's talking about the harvest and the abundance and all that, but like reaping the fruits of your labor. But I do more so feel that, again, that this is the support, this is the aid coming from the higher realm to help you through this process, to support you in this process. And okay, this is a very specific message, but it just came through, so I'm going to tell that to whoever needs to hear it, and to whoever or whomever this message is intended for. So if you are someone who recently lost someone around you, someone close to you, then I do feel that you could be getting a message from that person, maybe through your dreams, or maybe just through some kind of like supernatural occurrence. So yeah, just that feels super specific though. So whoever this message is for, yeah, I just feel like there could be some kind of message coming in from the person that you lost. Some kind of reassurance from them, or some kind of support. But again, it feels very specific. So again, please take it as it resonates. I keep wanting to say that. Let's look at the tarot. So I want to see why this burden was something that you had to go through. What was the purpose of this burden? Oh my God. Wow, we have the King of Swords, which is your card, and the Ace of Pentacles, but those didn't turn over, so. You have the Five of Wands with the Ten of Wands. Oh my God, I don't want to say this message because it feels, or I can kind of sense that it might be triggering for some of you, or it might really irritate some of you, or push some buttons. But okay, I have to kind of tell you what I'm getting. So for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, I feel like this loss that you experienced, or this grief and mourning that you're going through, is part of kind of your growing up process. And I'm not saying that you you've been immature or something like that in the past, but it's just, it's I get this like sense of moving from this more like scattered energy and a scattered way of being to like a really serious, very resilient, very determined, and very strong way of being. From the 5 to the 10, it feels like an upgrade, or it feels like a progress. So, but as I said, that's for some of you. It's not going to be for all of you. But if this is you, you'll recognize it straight away. But I do feel that that part of this process, part of this experience that you've gone through, the loss that you experienced, was to kind of awaken this maturity within you, or this very strong, very self-reliant, and very capable version of yourself, where you are taking more responsibility, where you're taking things more seriously, where you're like setting things straight yourself, rather than like relying on outside support or something like that. It's just, it feels very much like a growing up kind of energy. And I'm not saying, it's not like a judgment, it's not any kind of not saying that you've been immature, but it just feels like a kind of like a next step or a next level on on your life journey, or on the path of your evolvement, because the Lord is very very self-sufficient, very much takes charge, very much is in control of things, very much takes responsibility for himself and for others. That's kind of the energy that I feel that you've been stepping into, or that you are in the process of stepping into with this experience that you are going through. But for others of you, I get a more general sense of being able to defeat these more challenging and more of these negative experiences that could potentially break some people down. I feel like the experience has again brought this side of you more to the forefront, where you are able to face these challenges head on, where you're able to fight them, tackle them, and ultimately overcome them with the Lord again. So it's just this very, very self-reliant, very much getting down to business, getting serious, making sure that things are taken care of, and setting things straight, setting things right, that kind of energy, a very just stepping into your power and taking control of things. I feel like this experience was part of bringing those aspects more so to the forefront within you, so that those aspects of you could come forward. Okay, I really want to move on. Let's look at this, because this is so much more uplifting and so much more supportive. So let's see what you can expect from these energies that are materializing next. What can you expect? How are they going to help you? We have the King of Pentacles. Oh, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, one more, please. Interesting. We have the Four of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Okay. So with the Four of Swords, I get a peace of mind, as I was saying. And it's funny that I said specifically peace of mind with this upper world, because that's kind of what the Four of Swords is. The sword suit, the air element that is your element, and that is attached to the sword suit. That's what this is all about, right? The mind, the intellect, the thoughts, and communication in general. But it's very much tied to the mind. So it's again, I feel this peace of mind coming in, where again I feel that this King of Pentacles is going to, for some reason I don't feel like it's you. I mean, it could be, because it's somewhat tied to the Lord card, which I felt very strongly that it was your energy. So it could be you, where you just kind of, again, we're getting this more like a peaceful, a more balanced, a more stable way of being, because of this support that is coming in. And so that's going to kind of help bring this more stable and more grounded way of being to you. But I also get this sense that the King of Pentacles could be like a representation of the assistance coming in for you, because the King of Pentacles is a very stable, like someone who you can rely on. So yeah, I kind of get that it could be like the help coming in for you, or some kind of support that would really bring you this calm and this peace of mind, that would help bring that to you. But in general, because we have the Four of Pentacles again as the underlying energy, and fours as a number is a very, very stable number. And even the Lord card is number 4. So you've literally had 4 come out 3 times. So it's very, and I just noticed the lower world is 31, reduces down to 3 plus 1 is 4. So again, another 4. So you literally have 4 fours coming out. Fours are very grounded, very structured, very stable, very secure, and very firm energies. The number 4. That's the energy of the number 4. So the fact that you have so many, it's kind of confirming for me as a reader that that kind of stability is what you are moving towards. That's what's coming towards you next. So even though things might be kind of chaotic and very, very ungrounded and all over the place right now, and very difficult, and kind of this like upheaval is what you might be experiencing. Even though that may be the situation right now, it does seem that you're going to move towards all the help, the support that is coming in for you is very much going to help you get to a more secure, a more stable place. So I really, really like that. I feel like it's very comforting. Like this energy especially feels very, very comforting. And I'm even actually loving that both the Gatherer is very earthy, right? And the King of Pentacles very earthy, very tangible as well. Very grounded, very rooted. So I love that this is coming in over here. But before we close this reading out, I do also want to pull an oracle card for you guys. This is the Earth Magic Oracle deck. Let's see if we can get any last pieces of advice for you. Oh, yeah. Wow. Not surprised. Oh, you have rain twice. Oh, interesting. We have dance celebration at the bottom of the deck. So it does feel like... okay, I know that it may sound somewhat like ridiculous right now, especially if you are in like the deep end, right? If you are in the thick of it right now, in the middle of this grief and sadness and heavy emotion, if that's what you are in the middle of, I know that it's almost ridiculous to think about any kind of like positivity or happiness coming your way. But I do kind of feel that this is just this is almost like a reassurance for you, or a confirmation for you that things are going to pick up again, things are going to get easier, things are going to be positive again, even though you may not be like seeing it right now, because you are in, as I said, if you're in the thick of it, you can't see that, but it is coming. It is in the future. So things can be good again. It's just, again, with this rain purification, it does just feel like you are going through this purging, you are going through this release, and it is testing you, I'm sure, and it is very, very difficult to deal with. And I know that people deal with grief and mourning in their own ways. But I think we can all agree that no one can really just like brush grief off. It's not something you can just kind of turn away from and ignore, or, you know, brush aside. So yeah, it's I do realize that it's difficult being in the thick of it, but again, I do also feel that things are going to be moving to a more secure, a more stable place for you, again, with more peace of mind, and you are going to be receiving a lot of support as well. Yeah. Oh, wow, I was not expecting this. And I honestly have to say this was very much unexpected. But I hope that it gave you something useful, this reading. I'm gonna end it here. If this was your story, if you resonated with what I was saying, then again, first of all, I'm so sorry, and again, my heart goes out to you. But also, it would mean the world to me if you considered giving me a thumbs up and letting me know that I've actually been able to help you in some way. That would truly mean the world to me. So And also, if you did enjoy my energy and my style of doing tarot readings and you want to stick around for the future, hopefully we'll be able to do some more positive readings. And I mean, I know we'll be able to do more positive readings in the future for you, definitely. So if you want to stick around for those, then don't forget to subscribe as well. But yeah, I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Please take care of yourselves, my sweet Aquarius, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye.